Association of the National Chairman of NAWOJ, National Association of Women Journalists, Ajia. Okay, Ajia Aisha Ibrahim, the former National Chairman, Chairperson of NAWOJ, Comrade Ladi Bala, the Chairman of Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ FCT Council, Comrade Grace Ike, members and Executive Council of FCT NUJ, Chairperson of NAWOJ FCT, distinguished members, distinguished journalists, and other women rights group. My friends in our state, and the impressions that I've seen circulated, it became necessary to meet with you directly. A wrong impression has gone viral, suggesting that I, Comrade Dr. Kayode Opeifa, is not a friend of the media. That impression was born out of an error of judgment occasioned by the pressure of the moment as we work to keep the nation, especially Mr. President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, updated on the sad incident on our flagship standard gauge train service. First, I wish to offer my apology for the regrettable remarks I made, which were not only directed at a seasoned journalist, but also reflect unfavorably on the NUJ, FCT, and NAWOJ. Acting in the heat of the moment under pressure, and in my attempt to ensure safety, I made certain unkind statements. For this, I take responsibility and I am sorry. I extend my unreserved apology to Comrade Ladi Bala, former National Chairperson of the Nigerian Association of Women Journalists, who is now, in my own token, with serious consideration, will be the major ambassador to our organization, the Nigerian Railway Corporation. I'm saying this with all humility, and I believe when she's available, she will tell you that on the day before the incident, on the day before the altercation, that was on the day of the incident, we had a nice ride from the train back to town, and she conducted a live feed of interview, which I granted her specially. And that live feed went viral, and somebody called me from US, another person called me from London, that they watched the live feed. It shows the extent of the reach and the caliber of person she is. To her, I tender unreserved apology. I also want to extend my unreserved apology to women, National Association of Women Journalists. Sorry. I also tender my unreserved apology to the Nigerian Television Authority staff and management, which Bala belongs to. Same apology goes to the National Association of Women Journalists, NAWOJ. The broader journalism community, editors, and civil society actors in the media space, I also tender my unreserved apology. At this point, let me also let you know that I was the foundation vice chairman of Committee for Defense of Human Rights in Lagos State at inception, with Comrade Dr. Ebo, late now, our state chairman, who was former Secretary General of NMA, and Dr. Beko Ransom-Kuti, the national president. I was also ASU, LASU, ESCO, ex-official member, and later vice president during the time of Professor Atahiru Jega, Professor Iyayi, and Professor Asobi. And I was a strong member of that team that negotiated the first ASU federal government deal during the time of Professor Akpoti-Uduaghan. Without saying more, I just want you to know I'm one of you. I'm also a comrade like you. I was also a founding member of the Campaign for Democracy that fought the military to conduct the June 12 election, and eventually we know the result today. To the esteemed members of the press, I want to underscore my recognition of the crucial role journalists play in informing the public. Your ability to perform your duties free and without intimidation is indispensable to our society. I have initiated measures within the Nigerian Railway Corporation to prevent any recurrence of such incidents. I am committed to fostering a respectful and harmonious relationship between the Nigerian Railway Corporation, the Nigerian Union of Journalists in the FCT, and NTA management and the broader media community. The media remain my and NLC friends and valued partners. As an advocate of gender equality and as a he for she champion, I will continue collaborating closely with the press to promote the railway sector, provide timely, accurate information to Nigerians, and highlight the commendable efforts of the current administration. I have stated this, and I want to put also on record that Nigerian Railway Corporation is an extra gender-sensitive organization because 50% of our management directors are women. Not by virtue that they were favored, but they grew through the rank and file to become full-fledged director. On the incident that happened on the 26th of August 2025 at about 11:09 p.m., the Nigerian Railway Corporation triggered a newly revised protocol to handle emergency. And the protocol demands that all stakeholders, including the media, be immediately activated. In fact, one of the major stakeholders we triggered was News Agency of Nigeria. The Minister for Transportation, the Minister for Education, the Minister for Finance, the FCT, Mandate Secretary, and were activated NEMA, and everybody moved into action. I was in Lagos. And immediately I jumped into my car in slippers and I found my way down to Abuja. And I had to wait to receive the rescued people from the emergency. Before my arrival, the emergency system that was initiated arrived. The military arrived first. There were permanent military people at post. And as much as possible, they did their best to get people from the wreck, and those that were injured, critically injured, were selected. That is the procedure under emergency. Not every injured person will get the same kind of attention. They call it a triad. And in the triad, the medical personnel will determine those. So we want to give thanks to the military and to the Federal Ministry of Health and the FCTA administration, and the Kaduna State Governor, and Kaduna State Government too. The hospital around the area, Ida and I think Sabon Wuse, the primary healthcare system were immediately activated, and a lot of these injured took cover from them. Ambulances were provided by DEMA, Federal Ministry of Health, Kaduna State Government, and the FCTA administration. The media raced to the scene, and it became a flash on our major networks. And when we made our release, what we said is, NRC confirms. There was no hanky-panky, there was no hiding. We immediately confirmed, and for every media that called us, we answered that it is confirmed. And immediately we were able to say, the first thing we said was that there are 2 young kids injured. That was the first we picked. And as it goes on, we kept updating. Be that as it may, when the emergency team was further activated, we dispatched a train of 10 rakes, equivalent to the one that was accidented, to go and pick all the passengers. But some people already moved to Asham Station. They found their way to town. In fact, one of the injured found his way to Kaduna. We were able to trace him on the internet. Through phone call. When we were doing the contact and tracing using the manifest, because the train had a manifest, which was provided within 45 minutes after the incident. And we are still in touch with him. We were also able to trace another in Zaria, and we have visited that particular individual in Zaria. We were also, based on the report from the doctors and NEMA, to trace additional 7 people. I have personally visited not less than 7 of those injured. And we also discovered there were even more than that, because a lot of them just came out, left in shock, because they are scared of so many other reasons. And at the press briefing at the villa, I informed we are now working on the figure of around 20. But 7 are critical. Not that all are critical. Anybody injured remains an injured person. Immediately, Nigeria's Safety Investigation Bureau, a new agency created to handle this kind of incident, raced to site with 4 investigators, 3 men and a woman. And they did a wonderful job for 2 days. And we could not do anything while they were still on ground because they were gathering evidence. They eventually left the second day. Preliminary assessment. We found out that 618 passengers were involved. Out of these, there are Nigerian Railway Corporation staff, there were caterers, there are cleaners, and if one medical personnel. Every of our train carries a medical personnel. But in this case, the medical personnel herself was more interested in getting her life saved before joining the other team. Nature of the accident. A total of 7 coaches and 1 locomotive were involved in the accident. This represents 7 + 1, 8 out of the entire 10 rig. 1 locomotive at the back and 1 coach at the back, nothing happened to them. In fact, we were told that the people in the business class did not know there was an accident. They only discovered there was an accident when they came out of the train. This is also to attest to the quality of the equipment, that if the impact have not been that much, the equipment will have withstand the shear force. We had a total of 8 of our equipment damaged. That is the rolling stock. We also had a huge line of our track also swept up, because when the coach fell, it moved like a zigzag and destroyed the track. Security arrangement. Like I mentioned before, Nigerian Police, Nigerian Army, Nigerian Air Force, Vigilante Group, Local Security, Federal Road Safety Corps, Nigerian Air Force, including Nigerian Immigration Service, all raced to the site. I decided to go by road the next day to see what they went through. Believe me, we must recognize the effort played by them, and to media houses that went there ahead of many people. The day I got there, I met a lot of cameramen, and they did not go by train. They actually went there through Buhari, and some went through Kubwa. We said, thank you, we appreciate it, because ordinarily people will not travel along that route for any other reason. The DSS also took cover, and the Nigerian Air Force provided area cover, which was also put on social media. A total of 150 to 2021 personnel were and are still presently working. To give you an update, we have removed 2 coaches and 1 locomotive. And by the end of today, we hope to have removed additional 2 coaches. And I will tell you why it is getting difficult. The tracks are no more there around the area, and I can tell you the Nigerian Railway Corporation engineer, as of yesterday, have put off about 25 to 50 meter new track. That's the track they will use to derail the falling one. So the ones that we have taken are 2 derailed and 1 capsized. Capsized are the ones that went on there, but it's difficult They have turned them over, put them on the track, newly constructed, and they have brought them out. Media management. We want to give special thanks to the Nigerian media and international media. I was shocked on channel 417. I was just playing around. I keep going 416, 7, 8, 19, 20. And as I was moving from 16 to 18, I stumbled on 17 and they were reporting the train incident. They couldn't have gotten the information except from the feeds from many of our local media. We want to say thank you very much. Immediately it happened, there were so many press information, but in this situation, we always guard the way we address media so that the information must first be gathered before it is released and verified before release. On getting there, even without getting to the site, I joined the permanent secretary, director overseeing the office of permanent secretary to give an interview to channels, NTA, I can't remember the third station. And we also joined the train back, the train that brought the rescue people back to site. And it was on that trip that I first met Comrade Ladi Bala. And it was a very, very pleasant encounter. On the second day, that same day, I granted phone interview to Arise, and I was at TVC for an in-studio appearance by 10 p.m. The next morning, I was on channels at 7:40 a.m. And by that same day, I was back to site and I granted interview to Arise, AIT, NTA, and TVC. The second day was the day of the incidents, and like I said, there is no point repeating the incident than to say I tender an unreserved apology not only to Comrade Ladi that was directly impacted, but also to the organization she represents, that is NTA, and to the NUJ, FCT, and the bigger NUJ as well, and to NAOJ. There has been so many speculation as to possibility of what happened. The National Safety Investigation Bureau is expected to give an update. I want to thank you for this opportunity, but let me tell you, this incident has underscored a lot of our achievements. What we have achieved in the last 7 months is unprecedented in the history of Nigerian Railway in the last 60 years. The last 2 years of this administration had witnessed unprecedented progress. The removal of railway from the exclusive to the concurrent lease, the introduction of the track access program by the Nigerian Railway to allow the private sector to participate, and our flagship program, which is the railing with the states. It is my pride to tell you the Jos Bukuru to Nguru line has been activated, and Nigerians can now move in Jos on a track that had never worked for many, many years. And the amount they are paying is less than 20%, is about 25% of the actual cost of transportation on that route. This we are doing in conjunction with the Plateau State government. So we thank Plateau State government. So also the track access program is also what the Lagos State government took advantage of on the red line. And I want to say that that program is about to go to many states: Ogun State, Kano State, Kaduna State, and Borno State. Also, we have decided to do what you call optimizing what we have. Nigerian Railway is an asset that remains untapped, possibly the oldest corporation in Nigeria. If there is anyone as old, that will be the NUJ or the Nigerian Labour Congress. And NRC predates, the origin predates the Nigeria colonial days. We have a track that runs from Lagos to Kano that is not being fully utilized. We have a track that runs from Warri to Itakpe and Abuja-Kaduna. And we have the one that runs from Aba to Port Harcourt. we have decided to put all of them to maximum use. So what we have done is to make sure the track speaks for every Nigerian. I am also proud to say here with humility that we have introduced two new things into the Nigerian Railway Corporation. The first we have introduced is the Customer Service and Relations Department. And what the department is doing, so far they've contacted over 400 of the people that were on the train. And also this department is the one that is interfacing with anybody that has complained against the organization. And I believe in due course, we have also put up a plan we call the 5-10-20-30 vision. And we hope very soon that Nigerian Railway Corporation, working with the Renewal of Infrastructure Fund, working with the Ministry of Transportation, will take railway to many cities in Nigeria. In a very short time, the government will be announcing the expansion of the Lagos Port Complex Rail to Tinkan Port. We will be connecting Warri, part of the central line, to Warri Port, and the Port Harcourt line to Aba will be connected to One Port, and then from Aba it will go to Enugu. And also from Ibadan, the train will be moving to Osogbo. So also working with the National Assembly and the North Central Development Commission, we are set to get Baro line. Baro line and the Lagos-Ibadan line, Baro-Kano line, Lagos-Ibadan line, were the first two lines ever built in Nigeria before 1914. And those two, that line will soon come to fruition. Let me conclude. Permit me to also briefly highlight that while the Asham accident was an unfortunate distraction, our mandate at the NRC remains clear. The unfortunate part of the Asham will include the ugly and unacceptable encounter I had with Comrade Ladi, which is also a subject of interest at this press conference. So while it is so unfortunate, I know we will make sure that it brings out the best in all of us. You know, in the other side of Fela said, this uprising will bring out the best in us. I didn't say bestow, this uprising. So, but in this case, this situation will bring out the best, and it's already bringing out the best in me. At least I have the opportunity to meet people who are angry with me, and I'm able to come to their domain to speak to them. And that is to tell you, if I had done it intentionally to harass, to embarrass, I could just, but I will not. I will never join the people that for any reason will speak back of a trade union. I am a product of trade unionism. I am a product of activism. And I have so many friends, my early friends from the 80s, Lanre Arogundade, Sam Omaseye, Didi Adodo, and the rest of them who were all in the trenches fighting the cause for democracy in this country. And my constituency, my main constituency, why people call me comrade, is because of CDHR, Committee for the Defense of Human Rights. And I know for sure I must have signed petitions calling for the release of so many journalists, including Femi, comrade, comrade with Femi Aborishade, which was the basis. In 1988, we established Committee for Defense. He was then a writer for Labour Militant, a newspaper of a new column of the Nigerian Labour Congress. So let me say I am grateful for this opportunity. It is a rare privilege that people, friends who have a different opinion will give you this platform to come and express yourself. I might not have impressed you with my explanation, but it's because I don't want to go to the long story than to just say, I take responsibility, I am sorry, I apologize, I want to remain your friend. Not just friend, your best friend. Thank you very much.